All right, I think we're live. I'm a professional software engineer who's been coding, I'd say, the last better part of a decade, a little over a decade, but working professionally for the last 8 years. I'm a full stack developer, so I primarily build websites, build backends, but recently have wanted to get into building some more games and working on some personal projects. And so right now I'm just kind of building out a Godot project that is allowing me to test some of the like feature ideas that I'd maybe want in a future game. So this isn't like not building anything that's going to be packaged into a full product, but I'm more doing proof of concept around, different like inventory management, chunking systems, save management, that kind of stuff. So come along the journey with me as I go ahead and learn more about Godot, learn more about the game making process, and I'll be doing a handful of different things between game making, doing algorithm questions on LeetCode, working on possibly my personal website, as well as working on an app I have built for myself for fantasy football auction drafts. So yeah, let's dive right in. Last time I was working on this was yesterday, and I was trying to get dynamic inventory, just kind of dynamic UI in general. So basically trying to get a better understanding of how containers work, control nodes in general, and dynamic spacing and being able to like center stuff on the screen and whatnot. So let's just run it real quick. Okay, so I have, I believe this is all where I left off. Everything was being centered properly, which is good. And now I've hidden the Sprite 2D node, but I wonder if I put it in the VBox container actually, if it will center with everything else. It does. It does look like it centers with everything else. Now, I guess what I'm not understanding then is why the VBox container is controlling horizontal spacing too. So the box container's alignment is center. If I put it at begin, does that put it at the top? That doesn't do anything. So that's not controlling anything. It seems like the main menu control node, so the parent control node, is what's controlling where everything goes. And I was reading about anchors versus containers. So maybe... Okay, so I think I have a center on something here. So if I do that at begin, it's possible the anchors preset is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, interesting. But how does I wish I could add a background. Like, is there a way to, actually, is there a way to change the, I wonder if there's a way to change the background so I can see, because I can't even tell what the... Oh. So if layout mode is position, that's not what I want. I don't think. I want anchors. I'm going to go back to the... Oh, UI is a center container right now. Look at the documentation for this. If true. Okay, center container is a container that keeps all of its child controls in its center at their minimum size. Container that keeps child controls in its center. That doesn't seem to... What I'm not understanding is why then, if it's called a center container, why are there options to move children based on these different anchors? Like that's what I'm not really understanding. I mean, we can just center it. I mean, that is totally viable, and then you can resize the screen and it stays completely centered. All right, maybe that's acceptable. So now within this VBox container, I would actually, can the sprite, I think I want that to be outside of the VBox container for now. So I would really like to understand what the height of the VBox container currently is, because before I created this VBox container, I had manually positioned all of these nodes where they are, and so I'm not understanding how they're being positioned at the moment, other than having been in a manual position state, and now they're just locked because of some reason. Let's go to the documentation. Variant of box container that can only arrange its child controls vertically. Child controls are rearranged automatically when their minimum size changes. I wonder if it's to do with maybe the fact that these nodes, so each of the menu items, are containers. Which almost seem to have no layout. I want to try something real quick. If I were to okay, so if I move, then that gets really funky, which I guess kind of makes sense. So yeah, these control node, oops. Okay, now it's acting like I would maybe expect it more. Fascinating. So I think there is some either a bug in Godot or I got everything into a weird state. So these are acting more like a Flexbox div when I would expect them to be part of the parent. Okay, interesting. Have some. Okay. All right, I'm getting somewhere. Whoa, why can you do that? All right. So it doesn't look like, I looked this up and I'm pretty sure with a texture button, there's no way to add text. So I don't know if texture button is necessarily what I want here. Let me look at what other types of buttons exist. Button that brings up a pop-up menu. Button that brings up a drop-down. I just want a straight button that can still support pressed, hover, disabled, and focus states. Maybe I just want a regular button and I don't even need to specify one of these other types of buttons here. That might be what I want. This is handled in main menu. Okay, so we're getting somewhere here. We are definitely making some progress. But now the issue is okay, hold on. All right, so this needs to be actually, I don't think I need the label anymore because now I can have that be part of the button itself. Okay, great, perfect. So I'm gonna get rid of this label, which I don't think should break. No, it will. Hold on. What are we using this for? Anything else? No, that's it. Okay. So we can get rid of this label. Now it's very small, but and actually probably don't even need this parent control node anymore either. So I'm gonna delete that, but I do think that means I need to update the code here so it's pointing to the right place. I think theoretically we can hit play and it works. Okay, yeah, and continue. Does that work? So it's FAD F7. Let's give that if I continue, it's still the same thing. And if I go new game, it's going to be different, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, so now it's a matter of doing this for the rest of the buttons, which should be easy to do. Let's just change the types here to a normal button. And then I can delete those nodes, and I'm not accessing them anywhere. Say new game. Oops. Do the same for load game button. Change type just to button. I'll do everything lowercase. Don't know why I had everything uppercase. Get rid of these. And then lastly, exit button. Change the type just to button. And say exit. Okay, so now it's very small, but we do have this VBox container, and we want to center. Not that. There's a offset option somewhere. Forget what it's called, but there should be a way to center it on the point rather than it being at the top there. Maybe, no, maybe that's on the parent center. Use top left. No. Oh no, it is use top left. Why is that being weird? Why is it, hold on. Okay, so that is centered, to be expected. I don't know why it's saying that. Okay, maybe because the anchors preset is left. I'm not understanding this. Maybe it's a visual bug. Or related to the anchors preset. Maybe that doesn't need to be interesting. I can't tell if I'm doing something weird or not, but regardless, we have this working the way I was expecting. Now I just need to I need to grow each of these elements, each of these buttons. Let's see. Let's just make sure they work. So continue. Can load any of these games. Okay, that works. Let's see. So it seems like for each of these, rather than doing this per button, I should have a essentially menu item. So I have load menu and load menu item. But really load menu item. Oops. What does the script look like for this? Okay, I'm doing some different stuff because it actually like loads a save file. But theoretically, if I want a single button element, clickable element that goes, you know, main menu, load menu, whatever it is, theoretically, I should create the styling on a child menu item and then put this logic on a parent of that. So I'm not going to worry about that now, but I will create a menu item. Is menu item the right name for that? It's fine enough for now, I think. Let's create a new scene. It's going to be a user interface. Why is this loading so slowly? Menu item. Wow, this is going very slowly. All right, so the menu item is going to be a button. And we're gonna add a script. Call it menu item. .gd. My goodness, what is happening? All right, so we want to be able to instantiate it with a name, and this is where my knowledge of Godot has drifted over the last several months. I can't remember exactly how if there's a way to instantiate, like in JavaScript, you can, when you do new class, you can specify certain parameters that you want the class to have. I don't remember what the function is called for that. In Godot. Create a scene, a constructor like in a way you do in TypeScript. Yep, there's no, I guess there, if I want to pass in required parameters on instantiation, how would I do it? Since scenes aren't instantiated exactly like classes with constructors, you can simulate passing parameters by defining an initialization function. Yeah, I guess I'm just like, I'm taking it for granted that there's a forced way and like a explicit strict way to do this in TypeScript that not every language has, and it looks like Godot and GDScript don't. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Um, that's really interesting. Okay, so what this is basically saying is if you assert wait. If you add an assertion to the ready function, now I need to remember when ready is called. Use signals. I don't really like that. Is ready called on a Godot scene? Godot, the ready function is called on a scene when the node and all its children have entered the scene tree. Okay. So I guess once they're added to this, yeah, with add child. Okay. All right, that's actually I mean, it doesn't catch it at dev time, at compile time, but it catches it at runtime, which is probably fine. I mean, theoretically, you'll need to be testing these things anyway, so okay, so gotta get my GDScript sea legs under me. Ready pass, so now it's gonna be underscore ready. All right, so we want text. Equals, just say default. What have I done? Oh, button text equals default. So we'll say initialize. Actually, I can say what is it nil? I can't remember. Null, maybe. String, and so we'll say self dot button text equals bt. So assert condition message assert. So what was, how are they using assert here? Assert button text self dot button text does not equal null. Menu item must be initialized before using. Okay, I want to get in the habit too of adding explicit returns for every function, and ideally every variable that I use. Is there a way to do, how do I do that in, maybe there's not a way to do that in GDScript. Um, okay. So, maybe I don't need this. What is self.text going to be? So it says it's supposed to be a string, but if it's not defined, is it null then? Like, is this, what is the empty state for a button text? I'll check that in a second. Actually, text does not equal null. Menu item text is null. So we'll give this a try real quick. And actually, what I'm realizing is I don't even necessarily want this. I mean, it can be, okay, so what I want this to be actually is one that can be specified both programmatically and in the editor. And so I don't really care if you call initialize at the moment, because all that matters is the button text is not null. So I think, is it export? At export? I would do that again. I have totally forgotten already. Let's see, do I? It's not on ready. I don't know if I've done this anywhere with anything. Maybe in player? No. Player inventory? Probably not. I just have to look it up real quick. I specify a var in Godot to be modifiable via the Godot editor. Yeah, export. Okay, that's what I did. Why was it yelling? Maybe because I'm exporting null? Unexpected identifier in class body. Unless this isn't a Godot, the Godot 4 way of doing it. Oh, is that how you do? Maybe it's because I'm doing null. Maybe it's because I'm, let's see if I don't specify anything. Godot 4. Okay, so yeah, it's different. Okay, so it's at export. I thought I did that and it still was weird. It's wrong. Okay, without type or initializer. Okay, so, oh, there we go. Okay, now we got it. And if I say that's null, that probably doesn't work because, yeah. What is the... Oh, you really write a lot of code here. What is the null value for a string that hasn't been defined in Godot for? Godot for if a string variable has been declared but not explicitly initialized, it is automatically set to it. Oh, an empty string, not null. That didn't work though. So I think that's just where Godot is lacking. So, okay, so it's, I mean, ChatGPT is lacking. So I guess I just need to check against the empty state of a string, which is an empty string. Assuming that's how you would do that. Okay, now if I go to main menu, scene, let's add a menu item. It's a child here. And if I instantiate or start it, okay, it's gonna error. Menu item must be initialized before using. Great. Love to see that. I should get the same error. How do I stop you? I should get the same error even if I do this because of, actually no, it'll work. No, I'll get the same error because button text hasn't been defined. Menu item must be initialized before using. Okay, so what I guess then button text isn't, oh, right. I don't, hold on. Text, button text. Oh yeah, button text I don't care about. I don't need this initialize function yet either. So this is more, yeah, this is more valid. So I think if I leave this empty, then I'll get strange. There's a weird competition between the Godot editor and VS Code with the button text. But anyway, menu item text is null. Great. That's to be expected. So if I then specify this, let's just call this one continue. That's great. Now I would like, so this is called continue game button. So let's actually rename this just for the moment to old continue game button. And we will rename this to continue game button. Now, if I hit play, this continue, oh, that actually does. Oh, because of the signal. Okay, that makes sense. It's not doing it in any other way. So this continue does nothing, but this continue, great. So we will delete this, and we need then to, on button down, connect to the main menu script. And I'm realizing actually now the menu item, oh no, we do still want a script for it. So on load, or no, what did you just do? Where is this connected? Okay, so that worked. So now we should see that work properly. Great, that's awesome. Now we want to do the same for the rest of these buttons. So let's go ahead and do that. Copy, paste, paste, not as children of that menu item, but instead as children of the VBox container. Now, I guess I can just delete these. So it's new game button, load game button, and exit button. I'll just have to reconnect through nodes. I'm going to say rename new game button. Rename load game button. And I actually can't remember, was it exit game button or no, it's just exit button. And now we will connect button down to main menu again, which I think should go to this. Yep, because it's the same name. Do button down, again, connect that as well. And lastly, exit button. Except now I need to specify the names of all of these. So new game, load game, exit, but an exit. All right, so give that a save, give it a run. If I hit load game, it opens up that menu. If I exit, it exits. And if I click new game, it starts a new game. Great. So that's everything we're expecting here. Now, theoretically, if I go into the menu item, we should see, if I were to make any changes to the menu item, we should see that reflected across all of the, all of the buttons. So just for the sake of testing, we will, how do I change the color? Let's just like change the modulate color to this for now. So great, it changed it for all of them, which is exactly what I wanted. Now I just need to figure out how to size them correctly in a, I guess, as long as relative to the parent, they're sized properly, then they should be able to grow or shrink with the parent. I haven't even set up though the parent to, let me get rid of a bunch of these scenes that I don't need to look at right now. Okay. So I don't even have this entire main menu set up to shrink or grow based on the size of the window, and I don't know how to do that yet, but I will probably do that at some point. So sorry, hold on one sec. I was just looking at one thing for the stream. Real quick. Okay, we're all set. All right, now we want to, the sprite is configured to be a certain size, but really what we want, we don't want the sprite. We would like, and do we even need the center container? I'm not sure we do. Feels redundant. It feels redundant, so I'm gonna, oh, actually, hold on. Wait a sec, I'm using it just here. Wait, how does this work? UI, continue game button? That shouldn't work. Because I added a VBox container. So I'm actually curious, if I move this and I delete UI, is this just gonna crash the game? Because I'm trying to access something that doesn't exist. Yeah, that seems to work. But I don't know why. Maybe it's because that's only, oh, okay, it's only gonna yell if save file size is 0 and I have save files. So if I went in and deleted all the save files, then this would throw a fit. So no, maybe we do want the, wait, how do I go back? Uh-oh. You can't control Z here? We're just stuck? There's no, no, there's an undo. Wow, that is moving slow. What is happening with my computer here? Something is eating. I mean, it might just be the stream. Doing a lot of processing. Yeah, that seems to be what it is. It's not a huge deal. Possibly quitting Godot and opening it back up would be fine. But let's put that back. Let's call this, let's just leave it as VBox container, but let's make sure we VBox container. What are we accessing UI for here? Oh, we don't. So we don't need that. All right, so now we want this. So the main menu, we're centering, but I don't know the size of this. Maybe I don't need a size. Maybe for UI here. Oh, what was that actually? Oh, that's why that was showing the way it was. Okay, so UI, we would like, everything to be centered. Still looks to be centered. Does that change where it, oh God. All right, I don't like the fact that that can happen. Oh boy, this is very, very funky. Okay, just to explain what I'm looking for, I have my main menu, which is centering everything on the screen. Ideally, this UI would be a certain scaled height and width that I could specify a background for. And then within that, this VBox container is able to control, is basically has space between for each of these buttons and allows me to spread them out a bit. Be very easy to do this in JavaScript, probably pretty easy to do it in Godot as well. I'm just not exactly sure how to do that. So, okay, let me do some interneting. Pull up the online docs here. Oh, okay. Thought that was gonna take me to what is center container? And maybe containers aren't what I'm looking for here. Let me see what other control nodes exist. That's rather unhelpful. How do I see children of? I just want to. Okay. Gotta do it this way, I guess. Okay, so maybe color rectangle is what I'm looking for, because that'll allow me to just make the entire background of the. No, this is something I've created, right? Yeah, that must be. I don't know why that's showing up there. It's so strange. Okay, so within container aspect ratio, what is that? A container that preserves the proportions of its child controls. It's maybe what I'm looking for. What is the difference between a box container, a container that arranges its child controls horizontally or vertically? Keeps in the center, okay. I think this is probably very powerful. I just need to learn how to use it. All right, so rather than that being a center container, I might want it to be an aspect ratio container. Does this change? No. Doing this changes nothing. I'm curious though, just messing around with this, if this. No, does nothing. Maybe the main menu isn't supposed to be a control node. I don't know why that. Oh, full rectangle. That's maybe what I'm looking for. Okay, actually, I think that's what I'm looking for, because then it. Yeah, because then it's not. Then it's basically saying that Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Hmm, I'm just seeing if this does anything. I don't think that's changing it in any way. Okay, so I've got everything in the center. I don't know that I need this aspect ratio container. So I'm going to change its type back to what containers are available again. I think. Okay, I might want to use grid container instead of VBox container for the VBox container, but I'll make this a center container. And I don't know that I need to. I would like to specify the size of this, however, while keeping everything centered. How does one do that? I guess like that, but that feels weird. That just doesn't. Maybe that's exactly what you're supposed to do though. So we'll say the size, I don't know, just for the sake of, it's 300 by 300. Is this centered or is it off-centered now? No, it's off-centered. So I have to do this every time I make a change to the size. That makes it seem like I'm doing something wrong. But we'll add a child node here. That's the color rect. We want this to go. Oops. Can't remember if it's supposed to be. We'll just change the color real quick to. Let's just go with like a. Oh wait, actually, hold on. We want just a gray, so we'll do something like that. Should be okay. Not working though. Unless it's just related to the alpha. No. Maybe it needs to go up above there, or it's because there's no size specified for it. Layout, container sizing, transform. I would expect it to have the size of the, to inherit the size of the parent, but I can't guarantee that that's the case. Let's see, if I put this as a child of main menu, does that? Oh. No, there's no way I got the exact color of the background, is there? No. That's a different color. Yeah, okay, it's just not showing up, but let's leave it as white for now. What if I put it in the VBox container? It doesn't do anything either. Why is it not showing up? Do correct, not showing up. Default, it has a 0 size. Okay, I was kind of expecting that to be the case, but how do I do that in... Okay, so it's very small, which is fine, but how do I specify the size? It's not letting me change the size here at all. Yeah, it's just literally not. Okay, let's go to the documentation. Controller displays a solid color rectangle, displays a rectangle filled with a solid color. If you need to display the border alone, don't want to display the border alone. Size of color rectangle. That is very bright. Is there a way to have, for example, a view box with background color? It's the work. Okay, maybe I want this to be a panel container. Oh boy, typing is hard. Rather than this being a center container, why don't we try a panel container? Oh my god, that worked. Crazy. Wow. Awesome. I was not expecting that. So it's just a matter of, what is this? I've never seen this before. Oh. Huh. Okay, so we want it centered. Now we have the VBox container. We want that set. Okay, we're making progress here. You'll love to see it. Now vertically, we want it to fill. But how does one do that? Okay, all right. You can make some changes horizontally. How do we do space between? Is there a way to do space between on vertical container? Maybe VBox container isn't what we want actually. Maybe it's vertical. Container. It was the. I saw it. Oh, it was grid. Let's try grid container. Just so I don't forget. A grid container. Columns. Okay, that's kind of what we're looking for ish. Container sizing, we would like oh, okay, maybe it's a matter of okay, there we go. So on the button itself, we need horizontally for it to expand. Okay, hold on. Let's actually edit this on the menu item itself, which all of these inherit from. So we want horizontal to expand. Is there a way for me to edit this? Can I see two? Is there like a split? A way to split these so I can see both at the same time? I don't know if that's possible. Okay, so menu item If I do both horizontal and vertical and save. Okay, we're getting closer. Getting closer. Now, really what I want is a, I mean, okay. There, it does seem like there's space between. Like, if I make this, I guess I have to specify this manually. If I say the size is like 600 by 600, and then for whatever reason I need to click, get rid of that and click center again, which is kind of annoying. Okay, maybe if I, hold on, what is that gonna do? Nothing. So that didn't matter because I have container sizing to fill and expand. So I maybe don't want these to expand. I do, however, need to center them in the grid, which now I'm realizing grid container probably isn't what we want. It's cool, but it's not what we want. So change type. Keeps a margin around its child controls. Maybe, ooh, what in the world is this grossness? I don't think this is what we want at all. Okay, so we're not going to use the margin container. I want to get turn the light on in here. Okay. I do want it in the center, but I want there to be space between everything. So maybe it is VBox container that. Why is it now? Okay, so that's what I'm looking for, but maybe I just need to look up. Okay. Godot UI container space between. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This doesn't exist? No, yes, the box containers do support add empty controls in between the nodes and set their size, flag, source. Let's create empty controls. We call them spacers. Really? There's no way to do space between? That's really unfortunate. It's funny. I mean, it's funny to me that Godot in their documentation is like, it's so powerful. You can do all these things. You change sizes of your containers and they all like keep their aspect ratio, blah, 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 shrink, change, whatever. Like, what is it? Using containers here. Like you can do all this fancy stuff, but you can't do space between. I'm not looking to like resize though. I mean, I can totally do it in code programmatically. It's just too bad that that this doesn't exist. I mean, it's also not a big deal. Like I can work around it, certainly. I guess theoretically then, what is this actually now? This is a VBox container. Let's go back to VBox container. I guess theoretically now what I can do is add yet another, because I want there to be some margin. Is there like a, there's no margin. Oops, that's not what I want to do. There is a margin container. Oh, right, I messed with this and this wasn't doing at all what I was hoping for it to do. Although, here, if I were to add a child node of a margin container and then put the VBox container in the margin container, is there a way to specify like on this VBox container, can I now make it, this margin container is just not doing anything then. What is the point of this? Margin container adds an adjustable margin on each side of its child controls. Oh, they're theme overrides. Okay. interesting. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking to do. Then maybe that means in order to create a little margin around each of the buttons, I actually want menu item to be a have margin around it, which means I have to. Okay, all right. First of all, this should actually be named menu item. Well, okay, we'll leave it as menu item for now. We will do button. Now, this actually will extend. Hold on. Let's change this to a margin container. This might be a weird way of doing things, but we will get at on ready var. Yeah, I'll just say button equals button, and instead of self.text, do self.button.text. We'll say button text is null. Now this is going to cause issues in main menu. Yes, because there's no, I don't know why that's still showing up as button text. That doesn't exist anymore. So how do I access the text as a top level export? Is that something I can do, like export how to export a child parameter on parent. Expose child properties figure to create an editor. Add tool to top of the script and it works in there. Currently exporting a property on the parent script that modifies the child property is the only way. Easiest export properties on the parent and just set her button to the child. Okay, that's okay. So now we actually want export var button text is a string. And then we want to say func score. What is it init? What's the first thing? Does init get called before called instantiated? Okay, maybe I say button self dot button dot text equals self dot button text. I don't know if this is gonna work, but now we should at least see an exported property here. You say continue. This is gonna make everything look funky. Why is that purple? Invalid set index text with value of base nil. Okay, so clearly this is not ready before init. So maybe I then need to do self.button.text equals self.button text. And hopefully this doesn't show up as purple. Button text is null. Okay, so that's expected actually. Because new game, load game, and exit. So, okay, great. So now on menu item, the margin container, theme overrides. This feels a little weird. And I don't like the fact that I can't see this in real time here. If I add 20 on the left and 20 on the right and hit play, okay, that does do that. Now if I add 20 on the top and 20 on the bottom, it looks like that. And so I don't really want 20 on top and 20 on the bottom. I'd rather have half. Okay, so yeah, you probably do want to actually do this programmatically. So that's closer to what I'm looking for, except now I want okay, I want that to fill. Now I want it to fill vertically. So shoot, how did I do that before? Oh, expand. Why wasn't that an option here? Or was it? And I just missed it. There was an option previously to expand container sizing. Oh, okay. Expand. I guess I want that. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Now comes the fun part of, okay, yeah, this probably needs to be done programmatically because there probably isn't a way to specify the override on the first element and the last element because you want the 20 pixel margin on the top and bottom only here. Theoretically, yeah, no. Oh, although actually, no. Yeah, you need to do it programmatically. Okay. So that changes things a bit. So let's grab the VBox container. So that's going to be UI margin container. Whoops. Let's call this VBox container. Or let's just call it VBox for now. Margin container, VBox container. Thank you for completing that for me. Now on ready. So we will, let's see, what is the, const menu item. So let's actually class name menu item. I still haven't found a good naming convention for these, but let's just say menu item, I guess scene is fine, equals preload menu item scene. All right, so now we're going to say so we're gonna have const menu items is an array of dictionaries where each has a, I guess it can just be text. So we'll say this is continue. Why are you yelling? What are you yelling about? Isn't assigned value isn't const? Okay. Is that better? Now what are you yelling about? Text not declared in the current scope. Really? You have to, like, oh, okay. I guess you have to do that. So we'll say so before, because I'll have to do like the connections for the signals and stuff, which is going to get kind of annoying, but it's fine. So we'll say continue new game, and continue will also need to be, we're only going to want to display continue if certain conditions are met, so we'll have to account for that as well. An exit. All right, so let's just see if we can even get this. For, how do you do for loops again? And I see it down there. Okay, for item in menu items. Let's just pass for a second. We're gonna say bar menu item scene equals menu item scene dot new. I think I want instantiate. Okay, and then I want menu item scene dot. Oh, okay, now I need to go back here and do func instantiate with button text string returns void self dot button text equals BT. And now actually, I don't really need to expose this, but it's fine. So we're gonna say menu item scene dot instantiate, and we'll say item dot get text. I think that's the right. And then, actually we'll do our button text equals item dot get text. And I assume if, is there a, what, Is this like a default? No. Why is that even allowing me to do that? Returns variant. Oh, if it doesn't, okay, it returns null if it doesn't exist. So if button text does not equal null, we will actually, before we even do the menu scene, then if that all holds true, we will do vbox.add child menu item scene. I think that's what we're looking for. Now this is gonna look very strange, but honestly does pretty much exactly what we want it to do. Now, each of these is connected at the moment. Wait, is it even connected at the moment? Hold on, I don't think this will do anything. Oh, I never added signals to them anyway. Okay, so I can get rid of these. And now we should see them take up that space. All right, so we want now to be able to specify as well not only the button text, but the margin on the top and bottom. Because there's no way to do space between. So our margin on do the margins on the left and right, do we need to specify that? It probably doesn't hurt. So we are going to, is there a way to define, there's no way to do interfaces in Godot, is there? Interfaces in Godot. Oh. What is this? Godot interface. Often one needs scripts that rely on other objects for features. No, I don't think this is what I'm looking for. Types for dictionaries. Godot. Don't think this exists. Oh, resources. You set the class name of the resource and you can set types for variables and default values. And your object. Oh, in your object you create resource. And in your object, you create a new resource and set the values. Okay, adopting structs for future versions. That's what they're called in other languages. Yeah, okay. I hope this gets added at some point in the future. But, oh, that's great. Not something we have now. So I think temporarily. This is going to be kind of annoying, but I'm going to say func validate margin. And the input is going to be a dictionary. And it'll return a bool. We'll just say return true. If input dot get top equals null, or is or how you do that? Input dot get left is null. Oh wait, actually I don't. This gets annoying. I mean, I could require that you always specify it, which I don't love. I guess then the easiest way to do this is to just Godot makes this a little frustrating, but I guess I should just pick a way to do it. So I don't want to do that though. Is there a way to check if like input.get I guess I'll just do this. Okay, is the theme override, is this an integer, I assume? Yeah. So mtop will be int, mbottom also be an int, left margin right. I wish there was prettier in Godot as well. Maybe there is and I just don't know about it. It'd be nice if there was consistent formatting for everything. Now we will say self.add theme. There's a constant override. Is there a way to do margin? No. Self.theme.marg. No. Self. Margin. No. Add some additional margin. To control the margin containers, margins use the margin star theme properties. That's too bad. That's kind of annoying. So add theme constant override of margin top We'll say m top. Let's paste that over and over again. Margin bottom. Margin left. Margin right. And okay, we got that. Now what happens if you don't specify these things? Is there a way to add a default value? GD script add default value to function parameter. This is old question, but yeah, you can do that. Okay. So we'll just say the default for everything equals 0. Okay, that's great. So I think now, actually, if I run this, we should see the... Okay, yeah, so that's expected. Now if I were to change the top default to 20, okay, we see that. Great. Okay, so we want all this to be 0. Getting closer. Back to main menu. So is there a way to get the script for loop get index, or do you have to just keep a counter? No, you just have to do for I in range of the size and then get the That's too bad. I could probably write a for loop that does that for me. Actually, it returns a tuple. But there's not gonna be a great... No, never mind. Okay. For I in length of menu items size, item equals menu items of I. Okay, so that should be fine. So now we'll say, okay, instantiating with that. So we're gonna say our top equals, are there ternaries? GD script ternary. Don't want to do it as a if statement. This is weird syntax to me. So top equals um 20 if I equals 0, else 10. Our bottom equals 20 if I equals menu items dot size -1 else 10 top bottom. Actually, let me do m top and m bottom. Oops, m top and m bottom. The left and right can stay at 0 right now. That didn't work. A type of value type int can provide a length. Oh. What? Okay, so that looks correct. And then I'll say for left and right, we'll just also do 20. Okay, that looks decent. It's weird that I'm shaping the size of menu item on the margin though, so but I don't know, maybe that's the Godot way of doing things. I mean, otherwise I just do everything programmatically. I mean, I do that in JavaScript and React anyway, so it's not so different here. It just feels like because there's a GUI, there should be an easier way to do exactly what you want to do, but I guess that's not the case. Okay, not gonna worry about it too much right now, but I do think I want a little more margin everywhere. So we're just gonna say 40 for everything, 20 for these, and you know, I should be doing this with a hard-coded value, or not a hard-coded, but a constant. Why is new game bigger? New game and load game are bigger. Why? Why are they bigger? Is there not equal spacing between everything? Or is it the fact that oh no, it's oh god. It has to do with the size of the margin, or like the panel container on the outside. It has to do with this. So if I shrunk this down, oh whoa, that goes dynamic. What? Maybe there is actually. Oops, don't do that. Maybe there is actually. Huh, okay. Well, let's, I wonder if there's a way then in menu item to specify self dot, what is the, here, let's get into menu item here. In transform, its size. Okay, so self.size dot x. Let's just say that's 100, and self.size dot y equals 50. Does that hard code it, or is it overridden by the container sizing here? So one sec. I think it's overridden because if I did self.size like 320, no, that doesn't make any difference. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to do everything programmatic here. Okay, so the UI. I mean, this feels really weird, but main menu, rename. Okay, I guess we'll do it in the main menu then. I really hate to do this, but because this just feels wrong. So we're going to say UI, and I can make a function for this, but just for testing purposes now, UI dot size dot y equals 400. UI dot size dot x equals 355. Let's just say 300. Okay, but now it's not centered. Why is it not centered? Because it's centered based on the size of this. Okay, so then I need to reset the, oh, come on. Oh, there we go, okay. Reset all of that, make it center again. Okay, but now we need then for, where was that? There's a setting somewhere that says top left versus where was that? Does that not exist on these elements? What is this? Interesting. How does one? I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Oh, it's actually the shoot. Okay, what if I centered this? The position is on the center instead of it centering based on the entire. Godot, how to center. Programmatically on Center of container. What are the, here, actually, what I really should be doing is going to Godot, going to this, opening the documentation of panel container, go to online docs. Okay, that doesn't go to panel container for whatever reason. Let's go to panel container, which actually is just a, let's go to container itself. Go to control. All right. There's a value that is don't think it's any of that. I've seen it before, but now I can't remember what it's on. Was it some option here? Doesn't look like it. Base button. So maybe just because I'm, well, this feels so strange. So it's the UI here that I need to I don't think any of these, oh no, this does change it. What is going on? No, that, okay, putting it center does after the fact, but it doesn't at the beginning. Is it because I'm modifying the size of it? Yes. It looks like that's why. Okay, so if then so that's what I need to do. Oops. What is this? What am I doing? So I modify the size, then I do UI dot anchors preset. Okay, now I need to look at how on a control you modify the anchors preset. anchor preset. No. Get anchor, set anchor. Set anchor and offset. Set anchor preset. Layout preset. Okay, so set anchor preset, and we'll do, how do you, how do you do layout preset dot, no. Oh, I guess it's just the number. So we want preset center, so just 8. Let's see if this works. No. Really? Well, it works because of that. I'm not sure this is actually doing anything. Set the anchors to keep. This is the code equivalent to using the layout menu in the TR. It's true, the controls position will also be updated. Okay, so I think then I want it to be true. No, that doesn't work. I wonder if it's because this is happening. Anchors preset not working. Using the default true for the sec parameter causes Godot to adjust the offset so that no change is visible if you call the expected outcome. I'm using. Oh, maybe I need. Is that control dot? Oh, preset center. Okay, so maybe that's why. Because 8 doesn't work. Does that look? That? I think that's still wrong. Control dot reset bottom left. Yeah, that's not doing anything. What if I don't do that? No. Oh wait, is this working? It's just not centering. Oh my god, it is working. So, okay, that's working, but now it's actually the children here who need to be centered. How do I, so that's centered, but then I need everything else to be centered on the center point of this panel container. And really, I don't like UI as the name for that, so I'm just gonna update this here. Container node. Say panel container. Panel container node. Should work still. Okay. I'm not understanding though. Container node. Not understanding though why it is the size that it is. Okay, that's what I'm specifying. It's got that preset correct, but there was a control to make it like center on the point rather than being from the bottom left, and I'm not seeing that anymore. I'm not fully understanding why. Oh, alignment center on the VBox container. Oh my, yeah, I thought that was the setting. Oh, but the VBox container then, oh, that actually just shifted stuff. Why did that shift stuff? It's this alignment on box container. So maybe, I don't want to necessarily do this, but if I add a child box container, this feels weird, but, oh wait, you're gonna yell because add child doesn't work anymore because it's VBox, it's margin container box it's panel container box container, oops, margin container. Now we've lost the color. Now we've gained the color. What are these settings? No, I mean, what if we just put this all on? No. Okay, when I anchors preset it center there, that works. Okay, now I need to fix you. It's so weird. Why do you work properly there? And it's on the panel container. It's the anchors preset on the panel container, setting that to center. Maybe I don't want this to be true. It seems to make no difference. Okay, what if then container node dot. So you want the layout mode set layout, no, layout mode equals, okay. Maybe this dot layout mode, no. What is layout mode standing? Okay, back to the documentation for control. Layout mode. Don't even specify it on here. Is that because it's only part of the... No, it says it's an element on control, so why is it not in the documentation? Layout. Layout direction. Okay, is there something about then like anchor? Set anchor preset. Anchor bottom blah blah, get anchor, set anchor. This is very annoying. Okay, maybe then I need to set these anchor points specifically. So I set the anchor preset, but then I need to do panel container node dot, was it saying that I can set these specifically? Set anchor. And offset. What does this do? Works the same as set anchor, but instead of keep offset argument and automatic update of offset, it allows to set the offset yourself. Oy. Oh, what? These are just... I don't understand. This just feels so wrong. I must be way off right here. This is so bizarre. And now, okay. Yeah, okay, this isn't clicking with me yet. I don't really know why. It's as soon as I access the container itself, it like try to change the size and it's like, no, you need to. So what is it here that's actually dictating the size right now? So I feel like it should be. Why does it have any size? Is it just based on what the size of the buttons and the margin is on the, I guess, I do actually wonder now if I go in here, or no, if I go in here and change this all back to 20 and 10, and then 20 for each of these. That does change the size. So that's dictating the size, not even the parent. But I want to be able to do this programmatically. Here, node dot size. Is this just a vector? Equals vector 2. I've never seen vector 2i before, but let's just say 400 by 400. And did I lose the expand here? Okay, yeah. So that's fine. It is making these different sizes. I don't actually want. So let's say in menu item, the self dot size dot x. Let's just say it's 200, and self dot size dot y is 100. And what does that look like? I don't think that actually did anything. Is it being specified somewhere else? Menu item size here. Why? Why? What is happening? Why do you do this to me? Why am I unable to? Is the button? Does this have a size? Hey Ram, sorry I missed that message a while ago. I've been so focused on this, you probably left the stream already. But I'm just working on building out some kind of proof of concept, you know, learning Godot, and so building out some proof of concept features. Right now struggling with the like with the menu system, just containers and everything, UI in Godot. If there's a way to make a noise when seems like not. All right, well, I've been streaming now for, oh my god, over 2 hours. I was only gonna probably do 2 hours, but it's been like 2 hours and 20 minutes, so I'm gonna call it here. I'll probably be on again tomorrow. If not, then sometime in the next few days. But yeah, thanks for everyone who stopped by. And I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed now. All right, see you everyone.